Welcome to Discipleship Hoops Podcast, where basketball meets purpose. This isn't just about mastering skills on the court, it's about developing the complete athlete. We're here to help young players grow stronger, smarter, and more skilled while deepening their character and strengthening their faith. At Discipleship Hoops, we believe basketball is more than a game. It's a platform for transformation, teaching discipline, teamwork, and resilience. Together, let's empower the next generation of leaders to excel both on and off the court. This is Discipleship Hoops through basketball. What's up, y'all? Welcome again to the Discipleship Hoops Podcast. This is Season 1, Episode 5. It's your boy, Jimmy. I'm so happy to be in front of you once again with another phenomenal, exciting guest. But before we get to that, as always, the podcast scripture is 1 Corinthians 9, 24 through 25. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. 1 Corinthians 9, 24 through 25. Welcome again to Season 1, Episode 5 of the Discipleship Hoops Podcast. Joining me today is another exciting guest, Mr. D. Rice, straight out of Jackson, Mississippi from the 833.
What's up, bro? Man, what's up, man?
Done all right.
Man, just got through doing this thing out in Vegas, man. I got a radio show, man, with my cousin out there, man. I've been doing for a few years, and he had to change this thing up and postpone it an hour, and I forgot they're 2 hours behind us, so it messed my times up.
Right. Yeah. Hey, look, I ain't gonna beggars can't be choosers, man. So I appreciate any time I can get with you. I can get you on.
What's up, man?
Not much, man. I just wanted to have you on as a guest, the Discipleship Hoop Podcast. And I truly, man, appreciate you you taking the time out. So I'm not going to further delay. Just honored and grateful for your time.
Oh man, anytime, man.
So before we get started, first let me congratulate you on your University of Miami Hall of Fame inductee, the only basketball in this class. How'd that feel to you?
Man, it feels good, man. It hasn't really hit me yet. I worked on my speech a little bit today, man, but just to know that the work you've done playing sports and all you've been through is being recognized and appreciated, man, it means a lot, man. So it took 25 years before they put me in. I think I should have been in a little bit earlier, but hey, I'm in, so I'm good.
That's right. Better late than never, right?
Exactly.
So with that, you growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, coming out the 833 with the legendary Coach Billups. Like, what was life like for you, back then? Because I mean, back then the city was rich with just hoopers all over the place. What was it like back then for you?
It was big. Basketball was big back then, man. And I grew up. I was out Clinton Boulevard, so I wasn't in Lanier zone, man. I was in Callaway zone. And I went to a Lanier game, and I say it was like 94 as a kid, man. I saw Jerry Nichols play. People remember Jerry Nichols. I saw Jerry Nichols play, man. And he was playing Murrah at that time. And, they had Jesse Pate, Ronnie Henderson, those guys, man. And when I saw that, it made me want to go to Lanier, man. That environment in the old gym, man, it made me want to go to Lanier. My dad was the football coach there. And I said, man, I'm going to Lanier, man. I don't care about where I live right now. We're going to Lanier after that. So, and back then, like you said, man, Provine was big. The city was big back then. Jim Hill, Provine, actually Callaway was like the worst team. And, after that, they became good. But us, Provine, Murrah, Jim Hill, Bailey, we all were in the big house at the same time.
Right.
Jackson was the mecca of basketball. And to be a part of that with Coach Billups winning 9, 10 championships, man, it was a great time. I played with some great players. Tang Hamilton, Corey Mangum. I was a year before Monte, but Monte used to come play with us in the 6th, 7th grade. We knew he was going to be good. He was playing with us as a 6th grader. We were in high school. We're like, man, this cat's going to be good one day, man. So many memories, man, at Lanier, man. I'm just glad I was a part of that history. Two state championships, man, 36-3 my junior year, 37-2 my freshman. I mean, we were pretty good back then, man.
Right, exactly. You mentioned like Monte, the Tang, Jerry Nichols, and all those players, but you in your own right, I mean, you were a bucket getter, right?
Yeah, I love to talk about the history of Lanier, man. I like the people to talk about me and exalt me, man. I've always been that type of guy. Just let
Right.
my body work do his talking. Uh,
Exactly.
if you remember how I played, man, I would dunk on you and I would run on back to court. I hit a three and I run back to court. I wasn't that guy that's gonna get in your face. You just got to stop me
Right.
at the end of the day. But
Right.
you know, I was just a part of something great, man. I had a lot of good teammates who passed me the ball.
Exactly. Exactly.
And,
You know,
I had James Thomas, who was one of my good friends, and we both were dandy dozens. I averaged 27, he averaged 22. And
right.
I look at like Monte Ellis, who averaged 40. I said, if I didn't have a James Thomas, I probably would have been that guy averaging 40, 45 points, man. But I had Solomon Forbes average like 16, 17. So I played with a lot of good players, man. And just to be on that court and have those guys look up to me and still talk to them to today, those relationships we built, man, back at Lanier was big time.
Right. So how do you so even with all those players, you were still McDonald's All-American. And
Well,
what
I did that work in the summer, man. I worked, man.
right.
Life, like you said, life for me was different, man. My dad didn't let me date. I didn't have girlfriends. I was a senior in high school, and even back then, we couldn't do nothing but sit on the couch and look at TV. These cats they're too free today. And I tell my team out here, they're too free. Y'all too free. When do y'all work on y'all game? Y'all want to go party, do this and do. I said I was in the gym all the time. I go to class, go to school. I'm in the gym at night. I'm back at home, sleep. I'm doing it every single day. I didn't have a life, man. Summertime, I was on the road in Indianapolis, Georgia, Florida, and that's what got me ranked and looked at. I played with the Jackson Panthers at the time with
Yep.
the late Shokwe Lumumba.
Yep.
The father
Right.
was our general manager. We started that team together. I was his biggest player at the time because I was the highest ranked, and we
Right.
started the Jackson Panther team together actually
Okay.
uh, with Martez Hopkins, a couple
Yep.
guys from Jim Hill, Mario Joyner, and those guys, and we won a national championship.
Right.
People saw me, they looked at me like, man, who is this guy? I was 6'9". I was at that time 180 pounds soaking wet, but I can shoot it from anywhere. And I was dunking on everybody. And that's what got me looked at, man. I got Coach K coming to Jackson, Mississippi. He's never been to Jackson, Mississippi before. Tubby Smith coming. These big time coaches that people only see on TV were coming to Jackson, Mississippi. And
Right.
man, I mean, it was a great time, man.
So what's your experience? So being a McDonald's All-American, and then being highly recruited, like what as a coach now, how do you what message are you relaying to your players now about just the whole recruiting process and how to remain humble and how to work?
Well, right now, man, with the NILs and the transfer portal, it's real difficult for high school kids. I hate it for them.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough that I have a top 30 prospect on my team right now, Billy White the third. He's actually 36 in the country right now, so he's getting. I think he has 20 offers right now, and we sat down and talked the other night, and he asked me, he was like, "Coach, how do I trim my list down? How do I trim those teams down?" And I started just giving him pointers of how I trim my list down. I had over 200 offers because they were recruiting high school kids back then.
Right.
So you got to look at what you want to major in, how good the programming is there, how many people coming in your position, and it's just they listen to me because I've been there. A lot of coaches hadn't been where I've been, and it's hard to get the kids to follow you, but they all follow me because they can look me up and they see what I've done. And just to give these guys those type of pointers, man, because I've lived it, I've been through it to the highest level possible, man. I told him it's going to be hard. You got to choose a coach, you got to choose a team, somewhere you're going to grow and become who you're going to be in the rest of your life, and it's a very important decision. One of the regrets that I do have is I wish I would have went to pro right out of high school. After the
Yeah.
McDonald's game, I wish, college, forget, I'll come back later. I would have just made that jump, and I think my path would have been different if I
Right.
made that jump, but we didn't have social media back then.
Right. Right. Right.
And I didn't know where I was going to be projected to go. Now you can just look it up. Oh man, I'm projected to go top 10.
Right.
Then you got to rely on other people to tell you this, tell you that. You don't trust them. You don't know what to do, and
Right.
it was just a different path I had to go through.
Yeah, I mean that's very true. And then I mean, even now, 25 years later, being inducted to the University of Miami Hall of Fame, like you have 4 straight years where you led the team in scoring. You had a 43-point game against UConn, and people still show highlights about uh, and talk about. So, you won championships as a player. You won championships as I think back to back as a high school coach. Y'all won district championships. You're an ACC legend,
Yeah.
right? Now you're a Hall of Famer. Which one of those would you say, man, this is the most important part of my entire career body of work?
Man, it's so many things. I can still remember games and the places I've been around the world, man, the Hall of Fame by far probably is the best accomplishment because they recognize you for what you've done for the school. I think the ACC Legends Hall of Fame, I went in with Shane Battier. I
Yep.
went in with the guy who just passed. He owned all the Wendy's. I went in with him, Junior. I forgot his last name, but I went in with him. I went in with a lot of great players in the ACC Hall of Fame. And the funny thing is, I only played in the Big East. Miami was still a Big East school,
Right,
and
right.
the ACC recognized me. So that was big, man. But I think I scored 70 points in Dubai one time. I think that was big. The UConn game was awesome. Like you said, they still show those highlights today on ESPN and everywhere. That the last time Miami beat UConn was because I beat them. But I think one of the major moments that people forget was well, it was the D League then, but it's the G League, same league. Because I own the record there for most points in the championship game. I came off the bench with 52 points in the championship game, 11 3-pointers. And it's funny because my team looked that up now. They're like, Coach, you hit 11 threes? I'm like, yeah. And I said, like, yeah, that's just what I do. And they were like, Coach, like Kobe only had 12. That's a record. I was like,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And they were like, I get that question all the time. Like, why you weren't up there with them in the NBA? And I hate that question because if I knew that answer, I would have been there.
Right.
Made me question myself. Like, man, I in the highest level, the G League championship game, I'm the MVP off the bench.
Yeah.
And I still don't get in. Oh man, it's a lot of stuff people don't know that I had to go through, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine, but I think though that even though, the NBA wasn't in your path, I think, I mean, you had a, 16-year pro career. I think you played in over 20 countries, like
Yeah.
you played a 52 in the championship against Dakota.
Mhm.
So I mean, you've lived a basketball. You are a basketball savant, especially coming out of Jackson, Mississippi in the 833, right? Like you have still lived and walked the path that people dream about, that they wish that, man, if only I could have followed, had Darius' career, I'll be somebody. So I don't want to like take that lightly. I mean, I guess I don't want to short you in saying
Oh
that,
yeah. No, I
the
get what you're saying.
NBA
Trust me.
wasn't in your, but where you are now as a coach is because of all the other accolades that you've had in your career, and it's a stellar career. I mean, and you're being honored in a few days here as a Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, I enjoyed it, man. You mentioned 22 countries, man. I have fans all over the world, and like I said, my path was different. My path, I'm a leader of men, man. I've coached a lot of pros. I've trained a lot of people. Now people follow me because I know what I'm talking about. And it's good. Like I can go back home and I see the guys, and I still go play pickup in hoods that people can't go to. I can still
Right,
go to because that was always me in the off season. I'm playing in the gyms in the hood. I'm playing at old high schools because I never felt like I was bigger than anybody.
right.
Jackson, Mississippi made me, so I always went back home because I knew it sharpened my skills because we had basketball everywhere.
Right.
And I think more people respect that for me because I always came back. I always try to do something for the city. I always gave back to the people, man, and I enjoyed it, man. I met a lot of good people. I played on the championship team with Shaq and with the Heat, and learned some things from those guys. LeBron in '07, Jason Kidd in '04. So I might not have had the NBA career that I wanted to have, but just being around those people, learning from them, training with them every year, man, I couldn't want for anything more, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I've followed your career a long time, ever since you were with Lanier. Actually, Jared Nichols was like one of the players that I was like at awe about. Uh,
Yes.
you know,
I
and
tell people all the time, he's the best player I've ever seen come to Mississippi.
when you were first brought to my attention, though, was because my favorite football player, of course, was Jerry Rice,
Hmm.
49ers, and then how you're his nephew. And then
Yeah.
when I, would study Jerry Rice and just learn about him, and then, your name would come across, I'm like, who is this kid from Lanier, like named Darius, right? And then that's how I started following your career. And so, and one thing I know about you, though, that I've learned about you, is that you don't mince words, right? You're upfront, you're
I'm gonna
honest.
tell you exactly what I feel.
You straight to the point. So how do you mesh all that together, right? Being the nephew of a legend, having a great career, and now coaching. Like when players are whining and coming up with excuses and all these reasons why, what's your message to young players about if
It,
they
it,
really want to
it's
be great?
it's crazy, man. Because like I said, I've been through so much, man. And it was funny growing up in that atmosphere, with Jerry. I got to see a lot. I learned a lot from him. I've been to 3 Super Bowls watching him as a kid. He used to talk to me all the time when I was in college, what to look for, what to watch out for, and things like that. But it kind of hurt me, man, because people don't realize where I'm from. They see is Darius Rice, Jerry Rice's nephew. They don't realize I grew up in Clinton Boulevard Apartments, with nothing.
Right.
So it kind of hurt me going into the NBA because it was going around like I never had to work for nothing. I'm Jerry's nephew. Jerry got his own family, got his own kids.
Exactly. Right.
I said my dad is Tom Rice and Brenda Rice is my mom. I'm not Jerry's son. I don't him like that. But it hurt me because they felt like everything I got was because of him. No, I'm not Bronny James.
Right.
I work for you know what I'm saying? I'm not Bronny James. I work for what I got, But it was good, being in that family atmosphere though, man, with learning from the greatest player to me of all time, and Jerry. I think he got mad at me because I wanted to see Dion in '94 when they went to the Super Bowl. Man, take me to Dion's room. I see you all the time. Deion Sanders fan, number 21. And I played under him was because of Deion Sanders.
Right.
It was tough, but it was a blessing and a curse at the same time because being his nephew and you know me when I was young, I kind of looked just like him. I favored him more than his kids. I wanted to build my own name, man. I wanted to go in as Darius Rice, not Jerry's nephew. And I fought that stigmatism all my life, man.
Well, you've done a great job. And so, you've coached, you coached at Mississippi Valley, now in high school. Is there a difference in your approach to coaching college players versus now coaching high school kids?
Yeah, I want to be in the college or the pro rank so bad, man. I apply every day, whatever position I see open. I wanted Valley's head job. When Lindsay was fired, I reapplied because I felt like I was the right person to help that school. My uncle went to Valley.
Right.
I know about the SWAC. I wanted that position, man. Unfortunately, they went with a guy who's a Valley grad. But I know I could, from who I am and how I can recruit and how I can get players. I know a lot of players, man, and I know how to build a Mississippi school. I know how to build Mississippi Valley State.
Right.
So it kind of hurt me that I didn't get that position. But like I said, today is just so different, man. You have to coddle these kids. You have to love on them because you can't coach these kids like Coach Billups coached us. They're quick. They're going to a shell and cry and complain. It's a softer generation, man. So you got to be tough on them at the same time. You got to love on them. Right. And I think that's what I provide a good blend of that because you can ask my kids. We're 39-1 this year, but I'm tough on them, hard on them. I run them to death, but at the same time, they know I care.
Right.
They know I love them at the end of the day.
Right.
And I tell them, I say, I'm not going to put you through anything that I hadn't already been through.
Exactly. Right.
I'm not going to do things that don't make sense. I'm going to do things on a college pro level. I'm not teaching you about high school. I'm teaching you about life and beyond. So, and I think they buy into that. And I think that helped our record this year when we were 39-1.
Yeah, that's good. And so, if you look back over your career, Clinton Boulevard to the 833, so to Miami and then to just multiple countries and the world stage. What's your number one life lesson that you've learned?
Oh man, for me is never give up. Keep working, never give up, man. Because it was many times I could have given up. When Pat Riley walked into my room sitting in Detroit, I just had 14 points the night before against New Orleans, and I'm sitting there looking at the wire. I'm 21 years old. I'm fresh. I'm having great practice. Antoine Walker's 33 years old with bad knees. I'm 21, fresh out of school on a league minimum contract. Antoine Walker's making $66 million. I'm just killing him every day. Pat Riley walks into my room. I'm feeling good and said, D, man, James Posey just got released and we got to cut you. And I think that was the most humble. That broke me there. That it almost broke me to the fact that I didn't even want to play no more. I'm like, are you serious? All the work I put in practice every single day, busting my tail, and because he's making this amount of money and I'm not good enough.
Right.
And I think it's been many times when I roll my ankle the day before a game with Cleveland, LeBron actually dove on my ankle. If you watch me a lot, I talk bad about LeBron. That's a personal reason why I talk bad about LeBron. And he's crying to the management. D's hurt, man. We got to get a shooter. Didn't even give me a chance to come back from injury. I was cut the day I got cleared, man. And so many reasons why I could have given up and could have quit my career, but I kept fighting. I kept pushing, man. I'm loved all over the world. Every country I've been to, I was either player of the year or led it in scoring, won championships. People still to this day, I talk to in all these countries, man. And if I gave up, I never would have experienced none of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. And like I say, I've been following you for a long time, and um, I love everything about what you've done and how you've gone about doing it. And I don't, I mean, even though you had the opportunity, or even though you didn't get to where you wanted to go, you still made something of yourself. You still are somebody. You still outside of the shadow of your uncle, right? And you are D Rice, right?
Oh, yeah. Man, I appreciate that, man. It's good words coming from you, because I'm telling you, man, it was a struggle. People
Yeah,
see your accomplishments. They don't know the struggle. They don't know what you've
right,
gone through and things you
right,
fought.
right,
Uh, a lot of these kids are getting paid in college. If you've noticed, man, 2-3 million, and they're ungrateful about it. We fought for that type of stuff.
right,
We got in trouble back in the day. If we took $100 for somebody, but we were fighting that like we needed, something. But we played with pride. We played for our school. These kids today, if you notice, Nico from Tennessee, the quarterback, asked for $4 million of them. I'm like, man, we were just happy with $500. You're
exactly right,
getting paid 2.4 already, and you're asking for more in college.
right.
They're ungrateful, man. And
Yeah.
a lot of these people now, kids now, they're ungrateful for the things that we fought for that they're getting.
Right. So with that, with the kids that are gonna see this, that are, just trying to find themselves, that that's not getting recruited, that may not be having, NIL deal on the table, that's here in Mississippi, what advice could you offer them to just, trust in the process?
You have to trust it. Right now, you have to trust. You have to work. You have to keep the grind. Just because you don't go D1 don't mean you can't make it today. Back then D1 was a big deal. Now it's really not. You can go because D1s are only taking college guys. Okay, you can go to JUCO now. You can go to NAIA now. You can go D3 or D2 now. But at least your college experience, now you can go to the portal and make a D1. You can grow a year and make a D1. So just because you don't get recruited out of high school or go to a Division I right out of high school, you can't give up, man. There's still ways you can make it. I know a lot of D2, D3 guys overseas making six figures right now because they never gave up. It challenges your character. It builds you as a man, because life is not going to be easy.
Right.
It builds you as a man to fight through the struggles and things like that. So to all these kids, man, just go for your dream, man. If your dream is to play ball, bounce that ball as long as you can, because when it's over, you're gonna wish you had done those things that you did that you want to. I was just blessed, like you said, to play 16, 17. If COVID didn't happen, I probably had a couple more years in me. But COVID happened, man, and that's sitting out for a year, man. Little Debbie, I just kept eating. But I tell these guys, man, play the games, football, whatever you want to do, play it as long as you can, because you're blessed as an athlete to do it. Because once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, exactly, man. So again, man, I truly appreciate you joining me. Before I let you go, just a couple more things. First thing is, has anyone ever shut you down? Like, if you ever came off the court was like, man, that dude is a tough defender. He only held me to 22.
Funny you said that. I cooked a lot of people, but you always remember that one guy.
Right.
Man. I remember two. One
Okay.
didn't stop me, but I say I'm gonna say this one first. From Mississippi, Justin Reed was my hardest competitor.
Yep.
We were in the same grade. He was at Provine. He was actually ranked higher than me as a ninth grader than I was a ninth grader. I actually passed him later on in my career, but he had a great NBA career, man. Rest his soul. That was my competitor, man. He passed a few years ago, but Justin Reed pushed me, man. I wanted to be better than him in everything. I mean, but he was always the hyped up. He guarded me like he was the hardest person I ever had to go against, man. He was stronger than everybody as an eighth, ninth grader, bigger than everybody, man. So I was always trying to play catch up to him, man. And he pushed me. Like I said, I wish I could tell him to this day, dude, you made me who I am, because that dude could ball, man. Justin Reed was one of the toughest players I ever played against. The one guy that shut me down, though, was Julius Page.
Okay.
Out of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
We're in the Big East tournament, man, and we're number 1 seed, number 2 seed or something like that. And his whole game plan was to not let me score. And I didn't score a point in the Big East tournament game, and we lost in the semifinals. You talking about got to my hotel room and cried all night long, man. I said, this guy really shut me down to zero. The only donut I've had in my life was Page, man. I had 0 points that night. It was so bad. 0 for 6. It was so bad. All the NBA scouts there watching me, and I couldn't hit a shot.
Oh man, that's good.
I mean, he's like 6'4" at the time. He's strong,
Yeah.
he was quick, he was athletic, man, and he would not let me breathe on that court.
Yeah, man, that's good, man. I had the privilege of playing with Justin Reed in the old man league at the air base.
Okay, yeah, man.
A few years before he passed away, I had the opportunity to meet him.
He was a dog, man. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, he was bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody our age, man. I said, dude, how do I beat this dude, man? But like I said, by my junior, senior, I figured him out a little bit, man. But man, that dude was tough.
Yeah. All right, so before I let you go, I got one more question. I know the answer to this, but just so it can be recorded, I like to ask this question at the end of every episode, and it's one answer, one question, one answer. Jordan or LeBron?
Oh, MJ, no doubt. MJ, and you're talking to someone who's played with both of them.
Right, exactly.
I'm telling you, man, I can't go against MJ. I've seen him live. A lot of these kids today, they didn't see this man live. They watch YouTube clips. I saw him live and in person, man. The things he did. Oh, he was a basketball player and a poet out there. LeBron's just an athlete. He could have been a #1 pick in baseball, #1 pick in hockey, just because he's big and physical. He's an athlete. Basketball wise,
Jordan all day.
Can't touch Mike, man. Can't touch Mike.
All right, D. Rice, once again, man, congratulations on your induction to the University of Miami Hall of Fame. It's truly, you truly deserve it. All right, so
I appreciate you, man. Anytime you want me, man, just give me a call. You know how to reach me.
All right, man. Wish you the best. Appreciate
you too, man. All right.
All right.